This is Amy Chan from CakeDecoratingSchool.com, and if you like cake decorating, you're in the right place. In this video, we'll be making a simple Valentine's Day cake design. It's broken down into steps, so you can skip ahead, rewind, and rewatch as desired. We're going to start by making our buttercream color. We're going to make a little white. We're going to use some white for this cake. We're also going to make a little red. We're using 2 liquid gel colors, some tulip red and some red. And you can see I just got a little bit of buttercream in the bowl. I want enough so that I can hold it in my bag, but I'm not actually going to use that much. I'm just going to do a little writing. And I'm just going to give myself 2 drops of my red, and then 1 of that tulip. And I like the balance they give because I'm mixing a cool red with a warm red. So my color is well blended. You can see I've got a nice even mix there, and it's kind of a really deep pink on the border of being red. And that's where I want to stop with reds so that they develop into a nice bright color without being oversaturated. We're using 2 bags for this little project. The first with white, we're using a number 12 tip. The second has our red loaded into it, and we're using a number 3 tip. We've got 2 techniques that we're using for this cake. The first is writing. We're using a number 3 for that. And you can see we're going to do a 90-degree angle, so think straight up and down because we're piping on top of the cake, and we're going to drop our lines into place. And the key here is that you want to work in sections. So we're doing this little cute bit of cursive writing. But we don't want to attack it all as one piece. You can see I did a line and I stopped. Where you need more control, go closer. And just plan your breaks. Like I'm going to go down for my A, I'm going to come up and make a little stop there right at the top of that heart. And that gives me a little break to adjust. That way I'm not doing one long continuous line. That would be really hard to freehand and get looking nice and smooth. I've got these little planned places where I'm going to take a break, and it allows me to readjust my position, take a breath, hold a beat, just go nice and slow. And you can see it becomes easy to make this look like cursive that was done all in one pass or one stroke because everything is connected together. Our second technique is going to be a smooth shell. This is going to be like a regular shell, but instead of a star tip, we're using a round tip. So we get a smooth surface instead of ridges. So just touching, lifting up, letting it balloon out and roll over, pulling down and away. And you just start the next one just a little behind the one before. So I'm just using a toothpick really quickly, and I've got a ruler. This is one of my cake rulers. Just use it for projects, and I can just lay it on top of my cake because it's nice and cold. It's been in the refrigerator, so it's nice and firm. And I'm basically using this as a line. So I get all my writing on a nice straight line. I've already traced my heart and my T, so I worked from the middle out. So I did my little heart first, so then I can help myself with my spacing and just go in, kind of line up the top. And this way, I can get my little cursive letters kind of nice, give myself a little guide just with my toothpick. If I have any little pills of frosting, just take a moment, remove anything that's big that might kind of show, because I've got kind of a nice smooth surface on the top of that cake. And then I can take my ruler away and I'm ready to pipe. I'm ready to pipe, so I have my bag with my red and my number 3. And I'm going to start all the way over here on the edge and work across. And I'm just going to follow that little outline I did with my toothpick. So think nice and slow, just like we practiced on the paper. Touch, lift up, and just let that frosting drop into place. And anywhere you want to finish a line, we're going to touch, stop squeezing before we pull away. And that's going to give us nice, clean finishes on all of our lines. And you can see just kind of in the corner, bottom of my screen, I've got my left hand just kind of bracing things for myself. That's going to help steady you without getting in the way. Because normally what I do is actually have my hand up here bracing things to make it really nice and steady, but it kind of blocks my shot. So I've got it down here just to give you a good camera angle, but don't be afraid to brace yourself however you need to so that your hand is nice and steady while you're working. And you'll notice as I'm doing tighter curves, the tip is closer to the surface, so I have more control about how it curves. And as I'm doing larger, broader, sweeping ones, I'm pulling further away. And since I've got a nice little outline to trace and just kind of fall right on top of, I don't have to worry about whether or not my writing is straight or exactly where I need to be. As long as I'm on that line, I know I am. And this works with any two letters, and you can join them together in the middle with a heart. One thing you don't want to forget is to dot your I's, and of course, cross your T's. To finish ourselves off, we're going to do a nice little shell border. I'm just going to start up here at the back because you want the wording to be presented to your viewer so they can read it. And we always like to start our shells at the back. That way, if when they come to join together, they're a little bit awkward and there's a little hiccup there, you don't really have to worry. Now, if you let your cake set in the fridge and your red is nice and firm, you don't have to worry too much about going over it, but if you pick up a little red on the bottom of your tip, just make sure you clean it before you keep going. And just pull that last one off to the side to squeak it in. Now we're going to go around the bottom and do the same treatment. We're just going to give it a nice smooth shell border to make a clean transition and presentation between the cake and the cake board. We're going to go all the way around really quickly. And if you want to learn more in depth about shells, we have a really nice video on perfecting your shell border. We're using star tips in that. So it's the exact same thing, just in this case, we're using a plain round tip. And we also have some great videos on writing, some old lives, and a practice with me if you want more in-depth lessons on that technique as well. And here's our finished cake. We've used two very simple techniques and only mixed one color. 2 bags, 2 tips, really easy, sweet design that's perfect for the one you love on Valentine's Day. If you enjoyed this lesson, try checking out some of our other great tutorials. We've got one on mastering your shell border and a great practice with me on writing. Both of those focus in depth on the 2 techniques we've used in this lesson. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It truly supports our channel and helps us share more in-depth cake decorating lessons. Want to level up your skills? Our yearly membership has certificate programs from beginner and up. Learn more at cakedecoratingschool.com.